Building background knowledge. My strategy for this lesson was to create connections between my students' culture and today's social studies lesson, which is about the importance of having strong community ties, the value of good citizenship, and avoiding behaviors that destroy communities. Forming this strategy. Christina Robertson, in her article Connect Students' Background Knowledge to Content in the ELL Classroom, speaks about the power of using folktales when teaching EL students. Robertson states that literature, stories, and folktales from other cultures are a way to encourage students to connect what they are reading to their own experiences. Furthermore, in the PowerPoint presentation we watched this week called Building Background for English Learners, our instructor, Rebecca Sutton, stressed the importance of making explicit links from a student's cultural background to learning concepts. In light of these suggestions, I decided to make links to our social studies lesson about strong communities and citizenship by incorporating a classic Hmong folktale into my lesson. This story, The Eagle and the Moon Gold, is about a poor orphan boy who is desperate to find wood to keep himself warm. While searching for wood, he encounters an eagle who agrees to take him to the moon where there is gold. With his newfound wealth, the boy is a target for a greedy man in his community. Under the threat of death, the boy tells the man about the gold located on the moon, and the story ends with the greedy man paying with his life for his greed. My lesson strategy. I started my strategy about making explicit links with the anticipatory set. And in my anticipatory set, I've referenced the story that we had read the previous day called The Little Match Girl. And I asked the students about what happened in this story, and we discussed the setting, the main characters, the plot of the story, and the conclusion of the story. Making connections. I would then, after the anticipatory set, I would then introduce the Eagle and the Moon Gold story and ask the students if they were familiar with it. We would decide to read the story together as a group and then discuss the plot and characters of both stories. I would then prompt the students to identify similarities between the main characters of the stories, and we found that both characters had no parents, they had a lack of resources, no real community ties, and they were both very vulnerable. Linking cultural ties. I would use these comparisons to link the students' cultural ties to the lesson's themes about community and citizenship. Another connection would be the already strong value of community and family that exists within Hmong culture. Then we would have a discussion about strong community. So after making the comparisons about the main characters from our two stories, we would discuss as a group the qualities that make up a strong community. And our learning points would be understanding the concept of community members needing each other, understanding the importance of valuing all community members, and recognizing the consequences of greed and other behaviors that negatively impact communities. The wrap-up or assessment portion of the lesson would involve assessing the students' understanding of the lesson that was about good citizenship and strong community values. And I would give the students multiple ways to demonstrate their understanding. They could write sentences, produce drawings, or create a short skit that showed their knowledge. This would be done in small groups of about 4 students. And then at the very end, we would have an exit ticket that would involve them sharing one word that they remembered from the story. Thank you very much.